Hello, fifth grade. This is Brian Hash again, and it's time for Choices Unlimited. Last week we talked about pressure and assertiveness, and we learned that assertiveness is being able to stand up for ourselves and what we believe, while at the same time respecting the rights of others to think and feel the way they do. And the other thing we talked about was pressure. Who remembers what pressure is? Pressure is something that pushes on us like a wind or a wave to try to get us to think or feel or act a certain way. We talked about four different kinds of pressure: personal pressure, family pressure, peer pressure, and media pressure. And today, our entire lesson is about media pressure. So you might be able to imagine that today we're going to talk about how the media pushes on us to get us to think or feel or act a certain way. First of all, let's talk about what is media. So, media is any means of communication that reaches or influences a large number of people. So, some examples of media would be um, television, or radio, or newspapers, magazines, the internet. All of those things are examples of media, and that's a communication tool that reaches a large number of people at a time. So once we figured out what media is, let's talk about the way that media tries to push on us to get us to think or feel or act a certain way about things. There are two types of media. First of all, there is something we see all the time. It's television commercials. They come on while we're watching our favorite show on whatever channel we're on, and they come on and they're advertising a product or a service. And what are they trying to get us to do? Right, they're trying to get us to act by buying or purchasing that product or service. That's the way that media is putting pressure on us to think or feel or ultimately act a certain way. Now, the other kind of media is called a public service announcement. And it looks a lot like a commercial, except that it's not trying to sell us anything. A public service announcement is designed to give us information about our health, about our safety, our general well-being. You can probably think of some examples of some public service announcements. Like there's the truth.org public service announcements that are designed to educate us about the dangers of using tobacco. That's one good example. Now, some companies will use both. For example, alcohol companies, they will advertise through commercials their product designed to get people to think or act by their product. But then they will also do public service announcements, like friends don't let friends drive drunk, or those kind of things. You guys have probably seen some of those public service announcements too. So, has anyone here ever been influenced by media pressure? So here's what here. Let me give you an example. So it's late in the evening, and you're watching your favorite show, and then on comes let's say a Pizza Hut commercial, and you see that pizza, and it's cheesy, and it looks like it's hot and delicious. And what does that make you want to do? It makes your brain say, some pizza sounds pretty good right about now. And even if you don't have the ability to buy pizza at that moment, that may be stuck in your head, so that the next time your mom and dad say, where do you want to go for dinner? You could say, pizza sounds really good to me. And especially Pizza Hut pizza, because I saw how good it looks on that commercial. When we watch television, or when we read a magazine, or read the newspaper, or even when we're on the internet, there are a lot of businesses that are advertising to sell their product. They're trying to influence us to think that their product is good or worthwhile, or that we need it, and then ultimately to act on that feeling, which is to go purchase. So, think about some of the things that you've seen, some of the advertisements you've seen. Around the holidays and Christmas, there are lots of advertisements for toys and different products like that designed to get young people to say, that's what I want to put on my Christmas list. Does advertising cost these companies? Yes. And actually, companies are willing to pay lots and lots of money for the opportunity to influence us to think about their product and to purchase their product. For example, an advertisement during the Super Bowl costs about $4 million for 30 seconds. 30 seconds, $4 million. But the reason companies are willing to spend that is because they know there are millions of people that watch the Super Bowl. And so they want to get their product out in front of those millions of people. The Olympics, advertising during the Olympics can cost from $1 million to $1.5 million for 30 seconds or a 60-second ad. Again, companies know that people watch those television programs and they're willing to spend a lot of money to get their product in there and in front of us. Everyone wants us to think that we can't live without their product, right? They want to feel a certain way and ultimately act on that feeling, which is to purchase their product. Think about alcohol advertising for a minute. I would imagine that if you guys watch sports or a lot of other programs that would be on network television, you've seen an advertisement for some kind of alcohol. Now, those are generally, and those companies will say, those ads are generally designed to get adults who are legally able to purchase alcohol to think a way about that and make that purchase decision. But at the same time, most of you are 10 years away from being able to legally make a decision about whether or not you're going to use alcohol. And at the same time, those ads are already influencing you or putting pressure on you to think or feel a certain way about alcohol and about alcohol use. We'll talk more about that in just a minute. So there are several different ways that advertisers try to influence us or try to put pressure on us and the way we think and feel. One of the first techniques is called bandwagon. And that would be an ad that says everybody uses this product, right? You might recognize those from, say, 10 million people have already tried this product. And what they're trying to say is that, well, if all of these people have tried it, then you should too. The second technique we talk about is what we maybe call snob appeal. And snob appeal is saying that only really rich or famous people use this product, and if you want to be like them, then you would own or use this product as well. We see this a lot in luxury car commercials. They are playing to the idea that only a certain status of person would drive this car, and if you want to achieve that status, then that's one of the things you'll need to have. The next technique that advertisers use to put pressure on us, to influence us, is called personal testimony. And that's where they might have someone famous or a famous athlete or a famous actor endorsing their product in a commercial. So if you've seen Shaquille O'Neal advertising for Icy Hot, that would be an example of a personal testimony. Well, Shaquille O'Neal uses this product, so I should too because he's one of my heroes. Peyton Manning, for example, on the Papa John's commercials. Again, Peyton eats Papa John's pizza, so maybe I should too. The next example we talked about a little bit already, and that's a public service announcement, and that's designed to help educate us about our health or our safety. And those aren't really designed to sell us anything, but they are designed to influence or pressure the way we think and feel about a certain topic. Next, one of the ones that always gets a giggle from my classes is the technique that advertisers use called sex appeal. And what that is they're appealing to the idea that only beautiful people use this product, or if you use this product, you will become that beautiful person. So alcohol commercials use this a lot. Cosmetic companies for the girls, they often use this kind of technique to say, if you want to be as beautiful as this model, then you will use this product. weight loss products and gyms and those kind of things also use that kind of appeal to our sense of how we look to influence the way we think about their product or the way we think about ourselves. The next example of a technique that advertisers use is called, we just call that kind of having fun. And what that shows is that the people using this product in the commercial are all having fun. And so if we want to have fun, we'll use that product too. This is a big favorite of alcohol commercials. If you think of some of the alcohol commercials maybe you've seen, it will generally show people at a party, on a beach, or having a good time with their friends. And the implication that they're trying to say is that if you want to have a good time with your friends, then it has to include our product, which is alcohol. The next technique that advertisers use is comparison. So they'll say, well, our product is better than this other product. And I'm sure you can imagine some ads that you have seen that, that might illustrate that technique. Insurance companies often use that. Well, Geico is better than Allstate, or those kind of things. That's one of the other techniques that advertisers use to put pressure on us, to influence how we think. And the last one is we just kind of call that crazy. It's when they show something that would be unreal or crazy in their commercial to get it to stick in our mind. Again, to get that thing stuck in our head so that when we have the opportunity to purchase, it'll be there and we'll remember it. The Jack's Links jerky commercials and Messing with Sasquatch. I'd imagine maybe you've seen those. That would be one really good example of a crazy advertising technique. So now that we've gone over the advertising techniques and the way that media pushes on us to try to get us to think or feel and ultimately act a certain way, which is to make a purchase, then what we've got to know for our bottom line today is that we have to be aware of the message that media is sending to us and whether or not it's true, whether or not it's something that would be valuable for us. Just because an advertiser says their product is something that we have to have if we want to be popular, or we want to be pretty, or we want to be have fun, or any of those things, we have to decide whether or not that message is true. So we have to be aware of the messages that media is sending us, and then decide if that's true and something that we really do want to think or feel and ultimately act on in our life. So that's it for our Choices Unlimited lesson today about media pressure. I'll see you next time when we'll go over another topic. Have a good day.